Previously on RK Seeker of Truth. Oh man, nobody believes this stuff. What am I doing? I'm going mad. I'm going mad. I'm just repeating myself over and over and over again. Nobody understands it. Repetition has many functions. To learn, repetition is required to be able to repeat over and over again until you are able to process the information. But if you do not understand what is being said to begin with, your processing of the information is going to be twisted. In other words, when someone's communicating something to you and you don't truly understand what they're trying to say to you, you're going to interpret it based on your understanding, and therefore miss the meaning of what is being said, and then you move on, and then you have to backtrack in order to be able to grasp what was being said. This is my dilemma. I find myself in the same situation of repeating myself over and over again, because the subject matter is not that simple to be able to communicate with a sluggish tongue. It is better understood through telepathy. Unfortunately, we do not function in the area of telepathy at this point, so it is what it is. So I have to repeat myself over and over again and try to define what I mean. At least somebody defines what I mean, and that's going to be based on their interpretation, which isn't mine. So here we go, repeating over again that which is necessary to be repeated. The hyperdimensional conflict. A recap. Spirit is what animates all things. There's so much being said within that one sentence that it requires actually a whole seminar just dealing with that. Spirit is what we are. We are consciousness. Spirit, you can use whatever term you want, but let's make it simple. Let's focus on one term and stick with it. Or two. Spirit or consciousness. They're interchangeable. Go ahead and use them. It's fine. But it's what animates all things. What came before the chicken or the egg? Well, in this case, we're dealing with spirit or the creation. The spirit creates everything. Creation doesn't manifest spirit. Creation is for the indulgence of the spirit. It is made by the spirit. You are spirit. This is what we call creation. The reason for creation is spirit. The spirit energy. We are that. We've always been around. We always will be around. The different places that we reside within the embodiment of this creation and its construct has different personifications. Understand what that means. I'm being kind of haughty here, and I don't mean to be harsh, but I just want to make this really clear. The immortal spiritual being occupies its creation at the same time that it's outside of its creation. What we're experiencing here through the densities or frequencies of this universe is divisions, segments of self, subdividing, transmuting through creation. It's complicated. It's hard to summarize this. But what's important is to understand the nature of what you are. To know truly what you're to do in regards to your own personal responsibility in respect to you being spirit. The body, this thing, is a slave body. It's a vicarious expression that has been lived out throughout the universe. I don't care what certain individuals say, that the universe is only so many years old, it's only blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Hog spit, hogwash. I'm looking at the process in regards to creation here. You are that consciousness, creational energy, whatever helps you to connect within the idea of the material universe, which is the manifestation of the immortal spiritual being, which you are. Immortal spiritual beings vary in power and abilities. Don't confuse things here. You've got to understand, residing in the slave body diminishes your power and abilities. It is the nature of this existence or experience to diminish the reality of who you are in your essence. That's why I use the word slave. It is a slave body. Why is it a slave body? Oh man, we've got a lot of history to deal with in regards to this universe. Let me just kind of try to recap this as much as possible. Spirit or spiritual energy is the source. Source is not independent of the immortal, but part of the whole of what they are. They, based on consciousness, is that which allows the flow of that energy. That is the source. Others call it creational energy, spiritual energy, whatever terms you want to use. It doesn't make any difference. The point is, that's what you are. To understand spirit, yourself, consciousness, to understand that, the only way you do that is going within. You've got to set apart the time and dig for it like you would dig for the most valuable treasure that you could ever think of. Because it is. In order to understand spirit, consciousness, creation, is to understand the immortal spiritual being becomes the very thing it believes it is, wants, or believes that it should be. Meaning, if you're in this body, you're in this physical body, and you think you're the body, that's what you become. This is the nature of the immortal spiritual being. That's why I use this as a slave body, because memory is wiped, and you got these other beings out there telling you that you have to be able to recall your memory. When I come to understand personally that I know other beings don't have that complication. So what is it so different about being here that every time you go into a body, biological body, you forget everything? Why is that? Or is it, like what I've been saying forever, if you look at some of my videos talking about it all the time, that your memory's wiped, that you're reprogrammed in order to perpetuate an amnesia system, prison system, for the benefit of this duality experience for which other beings are indulging in and are living off of it. I'm going to call it the way I see it. And that's the way I see it because it's taken forever for me to be able to see this. Even though it's been staring me in the face for a long time. So what is an immortal spiritual being? Well, in its natural state of being, it is a formless, non-entity, all-knowing, all-powerful, which varies in power and abilities, and it's able to be inside and outside of its creation by subdividing itself through the projection of self into the creation and transmutation of personifications within the creation. Again, the immortal spiritual being becomes the very thing it believes it is, it wants, or believes it should be, because this is the process that enables creation to continue. If you go to hyperdimensional conflict, the origin of creation, I deal with that. Okay? I'm very frustrated right now, and I try to be humorous in the beginning of this video because trying to alleviate some of the tension. But some of those expressions are true. I am frustrated because of what I'm trying to communicate. Nobody really is embracing this, and you're probably thinking to yourself, who are you to say that you think you know what's going on? I just know that I know that I know, and I try to communicate it the best way I can. The point is that I'm trying to, I could keep to myself. You know, it would probably be better if I kept to myself and just worked on me. But I'm trying to help. I'm here to help. If I'm here for any purpose in this world, this is what it's for, is to help. I have a few things to offer, and this is one of them. So you can be negative and you can criticize me all you want. It doesn't change the fact that this is spiritually discerned. This is not a mental exercise. You have to go into your heart in order to understand this. There's no way that I can communicate this with words that's going to sink in. For some people, they get it. Very few. But most do not, because this is not what you've been programmed to understand, because you're meant to be kept in a system, to perpetuate a system, and not come to understand truly who you are. So I'm fighting against some things here, and I'm not getting any, I'm getting very little connection with what I'm doing. If I actually got a lot of attention, I'm sure that I would be attacked spiritually and psychically. And it's not that those things haven't took place, because they have, but it would be a lot more intense. But nobody's listening to me, so I'm not a threat. So I'm just doing what I know to do and doing what I can. I guess if I can reach a few people, that's good enough. Anyhow, peace. I'm gone. Take care. I'll see you next time.